20-year-old female. How much? 28. What's that, about 70 pounds? 28, no, it's 56 and a half of 20, it's 14, 56, 60, 70 pounds, right? Okay. With what? No treatment before, so she's from rural Vietnam, right? Okay, so just put your legs down, sweetheart. I'm going to be a doctor, eh? That's fine. Okay, and is she blue or pink? She's pink, you sure? You positive?
Cái bệnh nhân này là
96%,
28 kg, cân nặng là 28 kg, chiều cao 144.
And her pulses, what do you think of her pulses?
96%. Là chẩn đoán bệnh tim bẩm sinh.
The pulse, what's the blood pressure?
Mà không được điều trị gì.
What's the blood pressure? (110/60). That's a big pulse pressure, huh? All right. Anything else? Yeah. So she looks like she's got a very hyperdynamic circulation. If you look at her chest wall, if she actually pushing her precordium is bouncing, and her neck is pulsating, and she's got bounding pulses. She's got bounding pulses. So now I have to take her pajama top off, okay? And she's 15-year-old, and I'm sure that she's a little embarrassed. Can we take her pajama top off, please, so I can examine her heart? Do you think she's cold? I doubt it, but I can't do an echo through this. I want Mom to do it, because if Mom does it, she has authority. If I do it, I don't have authority. Okay. Okay, that's not good enough. More. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to have to try and do this study. She has got a very, very hyperdynamic heart. If you look at my hand, you see my hand is actually bouncing off her chest. Okay. Very, very active, both right and left ventricles. Huh? And you want to give me a clue? She's got congenital heart disease? Don't tell me anything more. Don't tell me anything more. Okay? I don't want to know. Nothing. Okay? I want the Phillips lady. Where's the Phillips lady? She's deserted me in my hour of need. How long is it going to take to make a diagnosis here? Eh? How many seconds? Alright, so now, she's a bigger girl. I want some more of this lead here. I'm not going to turn around. I'm going to just go in the parasternal long axis. She's a bit last patient we did on this machine. Okay, and now we left right reverse because of me, not because of her. There we go. And now we see a giant left ventricle. Very big hyperdynamic left ventricle, and I've just swept between the right and the left component of the aortic valves. Okay. So I'm looking at the left side of the septum. Here's this hyperdynamic circulation. There's quite a narrow left ventricular outflow tract. And as I come to the right, I see ventricular septum, and I see the ventricular septum disappear, and now I see the right component of the valve. So
dính vào
That's very interesting. So it looks like she may have some kind of an AV canal defect, right?
bệnh nhân này có thể là cái kênh đi thấp, thực sự mình chẳng nói kênh đi thấp.
This here is her pulmonary artery. Here's the aorta. She got a giant pulmonary artery.
Động mạch chủ này, động mạch phổi.
Okay, now I'm going to come up a little higher on the chest wall now.
Đây động mạch phổi.
And there looks like a funny looking left AV valve, right?
Đây giống như là cái van.
You see there's like a little cleft in this AV valve. And this almost looks like an osteoprimum AST. I'm going to come up a little higher and I'm going into the short axis quickly. And here is the giant pulmonary artery. You see the pulmonary artery here. There's the pulmonary valve, annulus. There's commissus there. And there's the left ventricular outflow tract. And here is the osteoprimum ASD. Okay. And this is the left atrial appendage. You see the left atrial appendage is so small, this must be a morphologically left atrium, eh? Alright. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Now, I'm just going to scoot around her to try and make a diagnosis. You see, she's almost got this tricuspid pouch lesion there. See that? That we talked about. There. Right now, we're going to do colour on her as the next test that we do. And now you see why her heart is so hyperdynamic. She's got two jets here of AV valve insufficiency. Here's the right AV valve component. Here's the left AV valve component. So, come back and look at this in a minute. I want to get to what's going on in this young lady. What's wrong? Okay, so now, let's take the cover off, because if you read my first textbook, there's a saying in that part that says, colour obfuscates morphology. We get down. Here's the depth down now. Wow. Okay. And we've got a little bit more jelly needed. Thank you. Thanks. All right. Okay, so I'm going to try and find out where the atrial septum is. What's wrong, Mommy? Okay. What's wrong? You can't hear me? I can hear me. Okay, so there we're looking now. I'm going to do the famous up-down, eh? There's up-down. Okay. And this is the right atrial component of this leaflet here. Whoops. Here we go. We still don't see the atrial septum over here. This is the back of the heart, so giant right ventricle. And you wonder about this shunt, because she looked like she may have pulmonary hypertension. And if she's got pulmonary hypertension, that's very scary. Here's a little left atrial appendage here. And you see the right atrium going back there like that. This is all right atrium here, and here is pulmonary artery. I bet you this is pulmonary artery, and this is aorta. She's got very big pulmonary arteries. The one thing I worry about in a teenager like this is she got pulmonary vascular disease already. Okay. So, let's just look at the colour over here and see what's going on here. Okay, so you see the right AV valve jet here. The right AV valve jet is scooting over almost to the atrial septum. We need to see where's the atrial septum. So we'll just take the color off.
Mình coi thấy cái mắt ly nhĩ đâu.
There really isn't much of an atrial septum here in this view.
Rất là khó thấy.
Okay, so I think that the shunt may be right or left at atrial level even. She's got a small component of the left ventricle. You might think that her left ventricle is hypoplastic, but I don't think it is.
Cái thắt đáy nó nhỏ, mình có thể nói cái thắt đáy nó kiểm soát, thực sự là nó không phải.
So we're going to look some more now, and we're going to go in her abdomen. Okay, and be close to chest off because you know how embarrassed she is. The hardest people to examine are teenage girls. Okay, there's the IVC. I don't know whether there's an IVC here or not. I'm looking for the descending aorta, and I need a bigger transducer. Have you got a more powerful transducer than the S5? Is that the S5? Okay, let's try this, eh? Okay, what we need here is we need whack. Yeah. She's not in the fine delicate stages anymore. So I'm going to look down here from below. Okay, let's get the priority set out there. Okay. Now what have I done? Nothing. No, I'm going right. Okay. There's the descending aorta. There's the descending aorta. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Okay, and then here's the IVC. And as she breathes in and out, you can see both her diaphragms moving. Her stomach is over here, so her situs is solitus. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to invert this, make this top bottom. And I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to see any, but I'm going to try the gains. Gain. Right, thank you. Okay. Okay, now we need to make that smaller. We want the depth down, there, like that. Okay, now you see the ostium prima majesty. Here, this is ostium prima majesty. Here's the left atrium. Here are two AV valve orifices attached to the crest of the septum. Okay. And if we put the color on, you can start to see, now we need to make this a bit bigger and deeper like that. Not a whole lot of anything happening here. And now we'll look for the on-FOS view of this valve, which at this stage we can only do parasternal short axis, unlike the younger patient. But she looks like an ostium prima majesty. Let's see whether we can get anything in this plane. Here we go. Here's the cleft in the mitral valve, or the left AV valve. Right? Here is the ventricular septum. Can you see this? And there's the cord attached to the crest of the septum. Okay? That's the anterior leaflet. There's the chordae tendineae attached to the crest of the septum. And there's the posterior papillary muscles with a very small mural leaflet involved in it. Here's the giant pulmonary artery in the front here. What I want to do is, here's the inferior vena cava, so we know if we see an inferior vena cava, we want to go and see the descending aorta. Now, I said she had a very hyperdynamic precordium, but as I'm looking here, now I want the gain up on the zoom, on the color, gain, color gain, scale, no, okay, gain, this one, eh? Okay, there's the descending aorta, eh? So I'm going to listen to the descending aorta now. There. And you see the classical features of a normal aorta without aortic insufficiency. So she's got bounding pulses. Maybe she's just anxious. But if you look here, here's the flow down the descending aorta. Here's what we call a tidal wave. There's where the dicrotic notch starts to hit, and then she gets this second wave of aortic flow in diastole. So it's unlikely that she's got a ductus or vessels are heavily excluded it, and she doesn't have aortic insufficiency. We haven't used TEQ yet, did we? We haven't used TEQ? Alright, let's take this off at the top here, Mum. Thank you. Okay, you're doing good. Okay, let's pull this down here. It's come up here in the chest again. Okay, we don't want Doppler. We don't want colour. And we want this up, down, eh? So you must exclude a patent arterial duct here, eh? That is the pulmonary artery. And I'm upside down, so I can correct that very quickly for you. Here's the pulmonary artery. Oh, you can do me good. Oh, okay. Okay. Now we look to see if there's any PI. Okay. I need to come down a little bit because PI is typically an isn't it? We're going to do some Dopplering now to make a diagnosis. Let's just try a little pulse here. She's got some PI there, you see, that's PI. And the velocity is only 80 millimeters, so for the pulmonary artery pressure is normal.
Nếu như mà đo đúng thì đây là cái hở van động mạch phổi và cái tần tốc không cao nên nó không có và thế thì đo lại chắc chắn cao.
Caliper. Thank you. I'm just stupid. There's the velocity here, and it says that the difference between her right ventricular end-diastolic pressure and her pulmonary pressure is only 3 millimeters of mercury. So she can't have pulmonary hypertension, eh? Okay? Let's go and look at, see if she's got.
Sau đó cái này đo cái hở phổi, thì đo rất là nhiều lần và có cái nó phải rất là rõ, lúc đó đo đôi khi nó khác nhau luôn, chất lòng luôn, nếu như vậy. Thế nào có 3 mấy tiếng.
Here's a left anterior descending coronary there, where the dot is. I'm going up and down on it because I didn't want to use the pointer. Here's the coronary artery.
Đây là cái động mạch vành.
There's the right coronary artery there.
Động mạch vành phải.
Here's the bifurcation. And here, just for comparison, is the descending aorta.
Cái động mạch chuỗi xuống này chúng ta thấy
the descending aorta is much smaller than the pulmonary artery. It's unlikely, if I look at this over here and put the color on now, and I'll make it a little smaller, there's no ductus here, eh?
Ở đây mình không thấy cái ốc động mạch.
Now, under normal circumstances, if I was doing this, I would come and get the angle a lot better than I've got it now, so I can look for pulmonary insufficiency a little better. And I'm going to go to CW. Well, there's very little PI, huh?
Bởi vì cái này bệnh nhân mình không có hở phổi.
Alright. CW off. Okay, so we've been around. The last thing is, while she's lying here like this, I want to look at her aortic arch, and she's lying just in a beautiful way to allow me to look at the aortic arch. And I'll take the color off. And look, here's her tracheal rings. Has anybody ever seen tracheal rings? Here, let's just turn the gains down. Gains. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm so stupid, eh? Do you see the tracheal rings there?
Dạ. Đây
Can
là
you
cái
show
vòi
them
của
what?
khí quản này.
Here they are, see? So this is the brachiocephalic vessel, and if I turn this round, here's a whole aortic arch. So the tracheal rings are to the right. I'm speaking from right to left. I see tracheal rings first. Here, I need to gains down some more. These tracheal rings. They're very bright. Okay? There, look at the tracheal rings.
Đây là cái
And then if I just turn this over this way, I get into her arch and her descending aorta, and she doesn't have a co-op.
ở đây là cái cung động mạch chủ và cái eo mạch chủ nó không có bị hẹp.
Okay, so nice aorta. Okay, and let's do this in this plane. Here's almost the three vessel view. Let's take the colour off. Here is the ascending aorta. This is the main pulmonary artery. Do you see the difference between the ascending aorta and the pulmonary artery? And here's the upper lobe of the right pulmonary artery and the lower lobe. You think I'm lying? No, I'm not lying. Okay. And the left pulmonary artery, there's the innominate artery, see? Look, do you see that there? It's actually bifurcating into the subclavian and the carotid artery.
Đây là cái nhánh đầu tiên.
Okay, now I'm going to turn the gain up and scale down.
Thân động mạch cánh tay đầu
Thank
phải,
you.
động mạch chi đồ, động mạch cạnh.
Okay. Okay. There we go. There's carotid and subclavian. You see the two vessels? We want to get to be 150, or we 15, not 154. Right? All right. Very difficult to see. Subclavian is going out there, and the carotid is coming above. Subclavian, carotid. Left, right innominate artery. There we go. There's the two. Carotid, subclavian, innominate, ascending aorta. This is the pulmonary artery, main pulmonary artery. Huh? Okay, let's get the pointer off. Okay, now let's see what else is there to see here. Now we want to turn the colour scale up as high as we can. Okay, now I said I'm going to try and show you the right AV valve. There's the TR, right? So we'll go immediately into. Now we're going to turn the scale up, baseline up. 3 meters per second, she's got normal pulmonary artery pressure. 36 millimeters of mercury, she can be fixed. Okay?
Đây là cái hở van ba lá mình đo thì cái vận tốc khoảng 3 mét giây thì thực sự là tôi nghĩ là không có tăng áp phổi. Nếu không có tăng áp phổi thì mình có thể mổ.
Alright. Okay, and now there's the mitral regurg there. And we've got to see where the mitral regurg is coming from. But we'll just show you this just by comparison. Baseline. Sorry. Scale up. Well, it's 4.5 meters per second. What did you say your blood pressure was? Let's turn the gain up here a bit. Gain. Okay, so we'll just take the caliper. Okay, it's called measured. It used to be called caliper. Okay, and her blood pressure, we got 88 millimeters. Now, if let's take your pressure is 12, we're exactly at 100. We don't get quite to 120. But I'll bet you she's more relaxed with me and with the dulcet tones of my voice than she was when you did her blood pressure. Okay? Alright, so I think we've got more, it's everything, but I have to try and show you that cleft better. The so-called parts of the superior and inferior bridging leaflet. Now we're getting serious, okay? So now I'll ask her to turn on her left side.
Cho bệnh nhân nằm nghiêng trái.
But she must come closer to me. Come this way. Come this way. Okay, that's good. And take this arm and put it underneath the leg. This one she can do whatever she likes with. She can keep this arm here like that, okay? Don't make her uncomfortable. Alright? And now, Now I'm going to try and do, I'm going to, okay, now we want to come, oh, thank you. Do we want to go all the way around to the, where is the one with everything on it? You know, with the two parallel lines in the middle, okay? You going to see that? So there's the papillary muscles, and I need to come up a little bit here. Thank you. Here's the two papillary muscles. Yeah. The inferior and superior papillary muscle. Here's the moderator band of the right ventricle. Tremendous hypertrophy of the right ventricular free wall. Okay. And now we come up, here's the cleft. Right where, here. Right there. Let's get this thing off there. Okay. Okay, now if we put the color on now, we should be able to see really between the two components, we see the cleft valve here. The cleft in the valve. Right? There. There seems also to be another little one back here somewhere. There's the tricuspid valve regurg. Okay. There's the mitral component right.
Đây là cái chỗ hở của van nhĩ thấp bên phải, gọi gì đó là van ba lá. Còn đây là cái hở của van kẽ của lá trước, hay là gọi là giữa hai lá trước đó của cái van nhĩ thấp trái, hay là van.
Okay, there you see the two components of the color here. There's the superior bridging leaflet, inferior bridging leaflet, and the cleft right between the two. So this is the kind of AV valve insufficiency that's going to be easily handled by the surgeon, because all he has to do is suture up the cleft.
Cái này là nó có gọi là cái kẽ giữa lá trước, cho nên cái này mình có thể phẫu thuật và mình phá cái kẽ lại, mình may cái kẽ lại.
Okay, now I'm just going to try for an apical four-chamber view here on her, and I'm going to take the color off. Okay, now I've got to increase the depth. Okay, there we go. That's getting quite, there's the gooseneck deformity. Alright, now we want to up down. There we go, there's the gooseneck deformity. See the goose, there's the cleft now. Beautifully here. The cords always go to the crest of the septum in an AV canal. And this is the left ventricular outflow tract. There's the coronary running over the back of the heart there, the circumflex. Okay, and now I want to get the back gains up, so I'll get all of the gains up. Here we go. That's the 5-chamber view. We look at there's the cleft mitral valve. See, the mitral valve never touches the ventricular septum. So this is superior bridging leaflet, that's inferior bridging leaflet. Here's the circumflex coronary. Okay. You see that going to the crest of the septum? There. Okay. And I'm going to keep coming a little bit round this way, and again you can see this valve attached to the crest of the septum. That's the real surgical issue, is can he get that valve liberated and off the septum. You see, the left ventricular outflow tract is longer than the inlet. There's inlet. Okay. And now we put the colour on again. And we look, one last thing we got to see. Has the patient got aortic outflow tract obstruction?
Mình coi thử là có đường thoát thấp phải nó bị
That's
hẹp
not
không.
the aorta. Okay, we've got to find aorta first. Here we go. Now click that, click that, click that. There's LV, there's the aortic valve, see? Alright, so now if I go CW, we've got 1 meter per second, scale. Not the very best signal, I must say. But there's no obstruction to the aorta, eh?
Như vậy là cái đường thoát là nó không bị hẹp.
What about a 4-to-1 shunt because of the size of the vessels and the fact that she doesn't have a high velocity probe? She's got about a 4-to-1 shunt and she can be fixed soon.
Cái này có thể mổ và...
That's it. I don't think there's any more to say about it. Thank you.
Rồi xong.
Very good, eh? Good. Very lucky young lady. Sorry, my dear. Okay. Thank you.
Các chị cố gắng ngồi lại xíu.
Any questions? No, I don't want applause. I want questions. Yes? Thank you. Good luck, eh? All right. Median sternotomy score, eh? That's what she needs. Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
See, I'm
Thank you, Professor.
It takes a long time when you're old like me. I need somebody like you with me all the time.
Sorry, Professor. Can I have one question?
Yes, sure.
Previously, on your presentation, you tell us about in case of we have the central test of the AV valve regurgitation.
Yes.
The recommend is we can using the annulus to repair or reduce. So in this case, most of the AV valve regurgitation just is in the central, but in the left annulus is not dilated, but the right annulus is dilated.
Yeah.
So what are you recommended for repair AV valve?
I would, the surgeon will obviously go in and have a look. I think that the reason why she's got so much tricuspid regurgitation is that she's got such a big dilated right ventricle. And when you take care of the shunt, I think the right ventricle will decrease in size and it's like doing an annuloplasty. Okay? Don't sit down there. The left AV valve has got a cleft in it and I think it must be repaired. I mean, even in ostium primum ASD, the most important thing after closing the hole is what does the AV valve look like? So I would, I'm not a surgeon, I've never actually closed an ostium primum in my life, but I instruct surgeons and I would say, I think do the cleft valve, and when they do the cleft valve, they then, after they fix the cleft, which is the first thing they do, they put water in the ventricle with a big dropper, and they see whether if the valve is competent, there will be no leak out of the AV valve. Then they'll suck that out. If there's a leak, maybe I don't know whether they do transesophageal. I would look with a transesophageal to see if there's AV valve regurg after the surgery. But I think the surgeons are experienced enough that they can do that reasonably well. And then I close the AV valve and I look and see how much TR there was after surgery. It's dramatic, in fact, the changes that occur in the left and right ventricular size immediately on removing the load here. So you remove, this is 5 times as much pulmonary blood flow as normal. Immediately the right ventricle gets smaller, the left ventricle will get bigger, and the morphology of the AV valve will change because the papillary muscle positions will change. So I think that, when you talk about the dynamics of surgery, it becomes incredibly difficult to say what goes on. But I think having seen a number of these patients, I think that this is not the most difficult surgery, and it should be done almost immediately because this child needs to be rehabilitated. That's all. Oh, we've got a poor little boy. What's going on? And how old? How old? 12 months. Okay, yes. 7 kilos is 15 pounds. What was his birth weight? What was his birth weight? So he was 3.5 kilos. So 7 pounds, so he's a year old, and he's essentially doubled his birth weight. When you should treble your birth weight by a year of age, and so he's got failure to thrive. Okay? All right? Okay, so he's cyanotic, eh? Yes, really, that much, eh? And what else? Normal mental development. Okay. All right, so we don't need to know anymore. He's got heart disease, right? And he's cyanosed. What is he likely not to have? He's blue. What is he likely not to have? Could he have transposition with the VSD? Is he, if he's got a left upper sternal murmur, is it continuous or not? No. All right. Okay. Well, the history isn't very helpful, and I haven't examined the patient, but we're going to do this blind because you want to see what I can do with an echocardiogram. Okay? So where are we going to start this study here? Where do you think the money's going to be? Which view? You want me to do subcostal? Okay, so because you want me to do it, I won't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go parasternal. Okay? Because I just wanted to show you that it doesn't matter. Okay? So let's look at the parasternal. First of all, up, down. Okay? And it's very strange. I've got this left-right inverted, so we'll go left-right, okay? Left-right there, and up, down there. There we go. Now you've got cooking with gas. Okay? Alright, so he's got a big left ventricle.
Cái thắt trái đó.
He's got a big left ventricle.
Là cái xoang bạch.
Okay? He's got a very abnormal semilunar valve on that side, eh? You see that? Let's just put, what are we on here? Look at, there's the semilunar valve. So let's put some colour on here. And originally you can see that he's got aortic insufficiency.
Cái van động mạch phổi, mạch chủ nó có hở.
And then he's got another semilunar valve here.
Cái van động mạch phổi.
Okay. And there's your murmur in the upper sternal area, isn't it? Am I right or am I right? Which one is it? Okay. So I think that's his pulmonary artery. Let's just turn this around in the short axis. Okay. And here's his aorta. Okay. And there's the pulmonary artery with the trouser leg. And in the middle of that structure there is a forward flow coming into the pulmonary artery. And I think you are not right in calling this.
Đây cái dòng máu mà hẹp qua van mạch phổi.
Put the volume down. Volume.
Scaling.
I don't want to wake the kid up, eh? Okay. And now I'm going to take the baseline up. And this has got a high velocity of flow across it, eh? Okay, so now we're going to go from that to CW. And we're just going to take the baseline up. Baseline up. And he's got characteristic features of pulmonary stenosis.
Cái dấu hiệu của cái hẹp van động mạch phổi.
And we don't need to see any more, but you see I found the caliper just like that? I mean, it's amazing how much I can do. There we go, and he's got 58 millimeters of mercury gradient across his pulmonary valve. Okay? And I thought this might be a duct, but it's clearly not a duct. Okay? So now, we've got a diagnosis of pulmonary stenosis.
Đây mình nghĩ là đầu tiên nghĩ cái ống động mạch, nhưng mà bây giờ mình qua cái phổi này mình thấy là nó là cái hẹp van động mạch phổi.
And the jet is sweeping up against the outside of his pulmonary artery, see?
Cái lầu tuần thở nó đi từ đây nó đập qua cái phần bên ngoài của cái.
And there's the left pulmonary artery. Here's the left pulmonary artery.
Động mạch phổi phải, trái động mạch phổi phải.
And he's got this little circle here, hasn't he?
Cái này là cái gì?
What do you think that circle could be? What is the circular structure in front of the left pulmonary artery?
Cái này là cái gì?
SVC, excellent. I would say that you're right. That would be my number one diagnosis. Okay, now we're looking at his pulmonary veins. Here's his aorta. He doesn't seem to have aortic stenosis, When we look at the color of the aorta, it's pretty clean, isn't it? So he hasn't got aortic stenosis. There's the doming pulmonary valve with the little jet coming out of it.
Thấy cái van động mạch chủ nó động mạch phổi nó mở lên vòm này.
And all I need to do is
Cái này là hở ra một xí.
okay?
Nó tạo ra cái luồng thở. Cái tạo ra cái luồng tăng tốc, nó đập ra.
And here is his left coronary artery. Here's the left coronary artery. Here's the LAD, left anterior descending. And here's the ramus intermedius there. Okay?
A6.
Okay, so, and you see the pulmonary valve is doming. We're going to look at this in another plane in a moment. I'm going to just go into the long axis plane. Okay. Here it is there. There's the jet. And you can see the narrowing of this annulus here. Okay. Now, why should a child with 58 millimeters of mercury be blue? Where's the shunting? We don't know whether it's coming at ventricular level, doesn't seem to be coming at ductal level. So we're going to have to try and work out what's going on. The left side looks quite fine. My earlier estimations of the aortic stenosis have been resolved. Okay. So, is he shunting at ventricular level? It seems not to be. We've seen a lot of his left ventricle. I'll go out and do his apical four-chamber view now. And thank you. Look, he's got a false tendon in his left ventricle, Whoops, wrong one. Let's get the colour off. Here's a false tendon. Whoops. Yeah, this is a false tendon. Contains his Purkinje tissue. His mitral valve looks quite fine. The question is, has he got a VSD? It doesn't sound like a VSD, but you see there's dropout of the septum there. And the reason there's dropout of the septum is that the membranous septum sorry. Okay. Looks like he's got aortic override here. Now that could be just a perimembranous VSD, so we'll put on the colour immediately. Where is the colour? Ah, here it is. I think that he's probably got an artificial dropout. There's the anterior sinus of Valsalva. I don't think he's got a VSD, but we'll keep that under advisement, because if I take the colour off here, he looks like he's got a little dropout here. You agree with me? You're going to call this a VSD, yes or no?
Ông nói là có thể là không phải VSD, các bạn nghĩ là có thông tin thấp
And the
không?
answer is yes, you have to call it a VSD.
Nếu có VSD.
Okay, and he's got a little aortic insufficiency there.
Mình thấy có hở van động mạch chủ ít.
And the reason he's got aortic insufficiency is he's probably that cusp is herniating into the outflow. And that prevents you. Do you see the AI? Let me just go CW here. Okay,
Cái này nó
so,
có một cái màu với van động mạch chủ nào.
mild aortic insufficiency.
Đây là cái đường hở của hạ chủ.
Okay, so this is getting a little bit more complicated. Okay, so we've got AI, we've got a T artifact. A T artifact is this little T. You see there's a T there? And that's usually related to what they call a specular reflective abnormality. And the aortic root is overriding. So we know he's blue, and we think he's probably shut. There's the AI. There's the AI.
Đây là chắc chắn là có lộ thông thấp.
He's probably shunting like this because he's got a mild form of tetralogy. Now we haven't seen it yet.
Đây là biến chứng follow.
86 is a pretty good saturation. Okay, so we're going to have to go and look for the LV outlet here. And there it is. You see there the yellow jet. Let's turn the gain down on the scale down on the color. You see how the jet accelerates underneath the pulmonary valve? That's not the pulmonary valve. That's the infundibulum of the right ventricle.
Mình thấy đây là cái van động mạch phổi này, bởi dưới này á, mình thấy cái màu nó đã tăng tốc lại từ dưới này lên, cho nên chắc chắn là nó có
Here's the acceleration occurring here.
Hãy phải
The distorted flow. Alright? Alright, so now you were right, by the way. Okay, so we'll go subcostally. Which picture is this? Let's get some more jelly here. Okay. Alright. Alright. This is a good child. I like children like this. My children were never like this. Okay. Now, I'm trying to find it, and I'm not doing brilliantly. I'll get there in a minute. Eh? You want to stay underneath. What transducer is this? The 8. Right, let's give it the 8 high and go to the 5, eh? I'll take it from here. Okay. I'm going to use the 5 because I don't know why, but you can't go subcostal in him that well. Okay? Alright, now. Okay. Okay. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is orient this correctly. Yeah? And now we increase the anterior gains. It's where the overall gains are here. Thank you. Okay. There's his left coronary artery. Left coronary artery. And now I'm going to rotate this round look for the monology of, there's the pulmonary arteries, right pulmonary artery up to the origin of the left pulmonary artery there. There's the deviated outlet septum. Here's the infundibular chamber. And there's the stenotic pulmonary valve. So in one beat, and the aortic arch is going to the left side. So if you'll see my probe, I don't know whether you guys can see if there's a video of my probe, but you see there's the deviated outlet septum. And he's got a pretty tight infundibulum here. There's the infundibular chamber here. Color compare. There we go. Look at that. See? Pretty soon you won't have a job. Okay? All right. I'm only teasing you. You'll
Mình
have
thấy đây rõ ràng đây là cái động mạch phổi.
There's the acceleration
Cái
underneath the
động mạch
pulmonary
phổi
valve.
chỗ này chúng ta thấy cái vách nốt nó lệch ra phía trước.
So we saw before valve stenosis, eh? There's the bifurcation. There's valve stenosis.
Anh chị thấy cái động mạch chủ nó đi
I
từ đây
come
qua đây,
over here,
và cái động mạch phổi nó bắt chéo qua đây, chúng ta thấy cái động mạch phổi phải.
and I now go to CW. Do you see the late peaking of that murmur there? Baseline up. That's outflow chamber. And as I come forward, come on, I see as I come forward, I see the valve signal. I want to turn the scale of the Doppler. So that's valve there, nearly 4 meters per second. And as I watch where I'm doing with the signal here. And now I'm looking just at the infundibular narrow.
Ông đưa xuống chỗ cái phễu thất phải rồi, mình sẽ thấy cái đường phễu thất phải.
There's the outlet septum here. This is the deviated outlet septum, or the so-called monology extensor. Okay? And the left coronary artery is running behind the pulmonary artery, so the surgeon is not going to cut it when he does it, if he has to do an infundibulectomy here. Okay? Now, the one remaining thing, does this kidney need a catheterization? I wish I could take a poll from you guys and say, which one of you thinks this patient should go to the cath lab? And who doesn't? Well, I don't. Because I've seen his pulmonary arteries to the hilum of the lung. He doesn't have an additional source of pulmonary blood flow.
I don't think we will bring the patient to the cath lab.
You don't think so?
Because here with the good quality of image.
Yes, no, I agree. On all scores. There's another example of the monology of Stenson. Let me just.
Cái tứ chứng follow có trên mạng có một bài cũng của giáo sư nói về cái tứ chứng follow, hay là cái là độc chứng Stenson. Stenson là một cái ông cũng cha đạo, và cách đây khoảng thế kỷ thứ 15, 16 rồi đó. Ông là người đầu tiên đưa ra nghĩ là cái này nó không phải là 4 cái chứng bệnh, mà nó chỉ là độc chứng, là do cái vách nối nó lệch ra trước thôi. Thì bây giờ đó là cái thuyết, bây giờ người ta chấp nhận là do cái vách nối nó lệch ra trước mà nó gây nên 4 cái tổn thương như vậy. Cho nên ông nói Stenson.
Yeah, I'm going to try and look for this monology of Stenson. There it is.
Đây, cái monology of
You
Stenson.
see the infundibular septum is deviated anteriorly and
lại ra cái vách này nó chạy như thế này.
Here's the pulmonary valve.
Bây giờ nó chạy ra trước.
There.
Đây là cái nguyên do của tất cả.
And here's the infundibulum. You see where the gradient is beginning here?
Cái tăng tốc trên áp nó bắt đầu
So
ngay
if
này.
that's really the case, and I see that in here,
Ở đây mình thấy này, cổ phễu trước.
that's the end.
At least, okay.
There's not a whole lot more. I don't think, I can fiddle with him for ages. His arch, we know already, is a right arch, a left arch. He doesn't have a ductus. We've seen both these pulmonary arteries to the hilum of the lung. We've seen the VSD. The only one thing we need to do is make sure that the VSD, we're going to get this tomorrow, if we get that lucky, if we don't get kicked out of this room. The big thing about tetralogy is 70% of VSDs of the tetralogy type extend into the membranous septum. And when they extend into the membranous septum, the surgeon can't put sutures in the place where they normally put them, because he's going to go straight into the conducting tissue.
Chúng ta biết là cái ngày mai chúng sẽ nói về cái thông liên thất, nhưng mà bởi vì khoảng 20% cái thông liên thất ở trong cái chiếc follow đó, nó không phải là một phễu và có thể nó xuống cái phía phần màng. Và khi phẫu thuật viên vá ở cái phần đó, hoặc là sâu nữa thì có thể mình vá vào cái đường dẫn truyền, nó có thể làm cái lốc nhĩ thất. Và với cái bệnh nhân này thì mình chỉ mới khảo sát được ở trong tim thôi, mình phải coi lại là hai cái nhánh thì mình chắc chắn cái nhánh là bệnh phổi phải mình biết rồi. Cái nhánh
You see this here? Stop talking for a second. Let me just show you this. You see that the mitral and tricuspid valves are separated. There's no VSD at the back here. So his conducting tissue looks like it's safe. It's only when you get up in this region that you start to see the tricuspid and the mitral valve together. So it seems that there's separate tricuspid mitral valve. This is not extending into the ventriculus, into the membranous septum. And that's all. I don't want to do any more.
Cái giáo sư
Okay, come on, pick him up. He's all
là
done.
quét từ sau ra trước, quét lúc mà chỗ hai cái van gì thấp, cái van lá vách của van hai lá, của ba lá và là cái lá trước của van hai lá, thì quét ra đó mình không thấy nó không đi thấp vậy, thì cái chỗ đó là cái đường dẫn truyền đi. Chỉ khi nào mình nhích ra trước thì lúc đó mình thấy thông đường thấp, thì khả năng là cái này an toàn. Khi mình vá vô thông đường thấp thì mình sẽ không đụng ra phía sau, cái đường dẫn truyền nó sẽ không bị đụng. Đó là cái
It's a pretty standard tetralogy, but of the mild type, because a tetralogy that's got 86, and when he cries like that, doesn't get blue. It can't be that severe. Okay? The interesting thing is he hasn't had any TET spells, no TET spells or anything like that. No, because he's such a mild tetralogy. You know, if he get, but he's getting on there, that the infundibulum is getting really small. Except that at this stage they don't normally get TET spells. TET spells usually occur between, let's say, 3.5 to 8 or 9 months. At this stage, he probably has enough systemic pressure to drive the blood through the infundibulum.
Cơn tím thường nó có khoảng 6 tháng, 8 tháng, khoảng đó thì sẽ xuất hiện cơn tím.
Okay, guys, we've got to move. One more patient and that's it, eh?
I think this 5:30 already.
Yes, where's the patient?
No, không.
Không bé nè.
Mấy đứa này.
Okay, thank you very much for that. What's the next story? Okay, he's awake. He's awake. Yes, you got the idea. That's excellent. It's a boy. He's had surgery. He's got drains and he's got a scar. Okay? So we've got a post-operative patient and he's already suspicious of anything that looks like a doctor. So ideally you want to know what the surgery is. One patient is left. Are we going to do it tomorrow or not? No, I'm happy to do it tomorrow. Okay. I don't think we must stop sometime. Look, everybody's gone. Eh? So, we want to know what is operation here. What operation was there? Yeah. But what? When you do post-operative echoes, you have to know what they repair for. You don't want to tell me, you want me to tell you what the operation was.
I don't understand your question.
The question is, what was the operation? What operation did he have?
Not yet.
He must have had an operation. He's got a median
I just
stenosis
asked
scar.
the last patient.
Oh,
Not
no.
yet presented, Professor. Now he will
Okay.
present it.
Okay. All right. No, I'm not saying that he's a tech that needs an operation. What is this patient? Just let's get it very quickly. What operation did he have? He had a what? Clean shunt and an AV valve repair. Okay. And what was the primary lesion? Left atrial isomerism.
Right.
Right isomerism. No, he's got the whole works, okay? And so he's alive and looking quite well, huh? All right. So we'll start off with the same transducer we used in the last patient. And what do you want to know about him? He's had a Glenn shunt only? Okay. All right. So now the first thing that you have to do is you have to see which is the left side. So you take where the button is and you run on this left side there, see? So this is the left side, not the right side of the transducer. If that's right. So the probe's right. Okay. There are two vessels on the same side of the spine, right? So we go immediately to color, and we see that the lateral one closer to the spine, the medial one closer to the spine on the right side, and the inferior vena cava lateral on the right side. There's the spine. You see the spine? Here's the spine. There's the aorta, and there's the IVC. Okay? So there's the aorta, and there's the IVC on the left. Okay, so let's stop this. IVC on the left. So did he have total veins? Hello? Is somebody going to answer me or not? Okay. All right. Nobody's answering me. Nobody knows. Did he have total veins or didn't he have total veins? Did you say he had total veins? Okay. All right. So he had total veins repaired. And they were infradiaphragmatic? There's a Glenn shunt. Wow, look at that. Now, if you start with a lower transducer, you won't see the Glenn shunt. There's the pulmonary vein repair. Here's the pulmonary vein repair there at the back.
Đây là cái tĩnh mạch phổi.
There, see? Here's the pulmonary veins repaired to the back of the atrium. There's the AV valve regurg.
Cái hở van.
You're only going to find one ventricle here. And it gives rise to the aorta, which goes to the left side.
Một thất và nó đưa ra cái động mạch chủ này.
Okay. Okay. There's this SVC stopping there.
Cái tĩnh mạch
Okay.
chủ
And
nó
above
không
the
có đi
top
xuống cái này.
there, you're going to see, in a moment, we'll see the Glenn shunt. Not there.
Ở đây mình sẽ thấy nếu như một Glenn shunt có nghĩa là tĩnh mạch chu trây nó được cắt ra và nó nối vào cái động mạch phổi. Thì ở đây mình sẽ thấy.
Let's see, where's the, I want to push this back. The focal zone, huh? I want it all the way back. Oh, that's MAG. I don't want MAG. I want to push the focal zone back. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I want the depth down. And I want the focal zone back. Jesus, what a crap machine. Okay, I want it there. Okay. Here's the Glenn. Okay.
Ra đây Glenn.
There. Okay, now I'm going to lower the color plumb because the velocity is very low in the Glenn shunt.
Thì chúng ta biết cái Glenn shunt tức là cái tĩnh mạch phổi với tĩnh mạch chu trây nó nối vào.
So there's the pulmonary arteries and the Glenn over here.
Cái bậc thống nó rất là thấp.
Here's the Glenn shunt here. Okay. I can't see the SVC. I'll go look just now from a different angle. Here's the atrial septum. There's the AV canal, which looks like a right dominant or single ventricle AV.
Ở đây mình thấy cái kênh nhĩ thấp và cái tim một thấp dạng bên phải.
Right. There's the arch of the aorta.
Cái cung mạch chủ.
The pulmonary artery is behind the aorta here. Yeah.
Cái động mạch phổi phía sau này. Đây là động mạch phổi.
You've seen an IVC, you know, and there's juxtaposition. Okay. Okay, you know, it's if I just come down here with the color, if I move it down here, you can see the little AV valve regurg and the flow into the aortic arch. You can see the whole aortic arch here. The question is, we will go back and look at this again, but where is the pulmonary veins are very, very well anastomosed. You see, we saw the pulmonary veins in this other plane there. They're the pulmonary veins. Perfect, eh?
Cái mạch phổi ở đây
Turn the color again up.
Không có bất thường gì.
Again up and the scale down. And this is what you have to do for pulmonary velocity, vein velocity. There's the pulmonary veins on both sides. The one on the left side is red and the one on the right side is blue, just based on where they're coming.
Trái này cái này phải.
Okay, and there's the Glen shunt right in the middle. You see the seagull here? The seagull here are the pulmonary veins there, coming across like that. Okay? And the Glen is probably up here, but we don't have enough power to see that. Eh? There we go, there's the whole shunt here. Now, I might have to change this probe, but I'll just try this over here. We're going to come up in the neck here. We're going to go up, down. Okay. And we take this off and that off. And I'm going to try and get in his neck. Not with this probe beyond. Okay, in order to see this, we're going to first change his transducer, and the next thing we're going to have to ask Mom to do is to put the pillow underneath his neck, underneath his back, so that his neck falls down, right? Yeah. Because children have short necks, okay? And that's terrific. So he knows how to do this already.
Cái cổ nó ngắn cho nên nhưng mình không có, nếu mà cầm mình không có chỗ để cái góc để cái đầu dò vào.
Yes, there we go. Okay, good. Okay, now we've got to take the depth down. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to use color to help me, because I have to see the SVC first. That looks like the Glen shunt here, right?
Ở đây mình thấy cái men sinh nó chạy từ đây xuống dưới đây.
Okay. I'm getting a bit of artery, but underneath the artery, volume is here. That's the artery. And you see, I'll show you when he breathes in, it gets bigger.
Cái để mà nó
Slow the sweep
thì
speed
cái
down.
thở vào cái này nó cao lên này.
Isn't it this one here? No, sweep speed. I want it slow. Oh.
Đây là nhịp thở, khi mình thở vào thì cái đường phổi nó sẽ là âm, cho nên cái máu
Breathing
nó
every
bị
2
cho nên
or 3
phải
seconds, eh? Okay, so that's the Glen shunt for sure. But now, when we've seen the Glen shunt,
we are not the one on the left.
there's the aortic arch.
Cái này là cái đầu phân dĩ phải cho nên chắc chắn nó có hai cái đường mạch ở đây. Cho nên mình phải
Here's the innominate artery. So he's got a left aortic arch, Because that's the innominate artery. There's the subclavian and the carotid coming off
Cái
there.
nhánh thứ nhất nó quay qua bên phải, cho nên là cái quay vào chỗ nó sẽ là bên trái.
Now his head is a problem here because he must turn his head to the right. Because his chin is in the way. I can't work with his chin, eh? Okay. There we go. Now I'm seeing the whole gland, eh? Right, now that I see the gland, I'm going to go and start to look and see if I can see these pulmonary arteries. So there's the gland very clearly seen, right? And we go pulse wave here. See, inspiration, expiration. When he breathes in, he sucks the blood into his atrium.
Cái này bên trái, ta thấy cái bên sau trái nhỏ hơn, ta thấy rõ. Cái dưới này hít vào cái sâu xuống. Đây là bên trái, bên phải.
So now I'm going to get the depth up a little bit more because I want to see its primary arteries, if I possibly can. Now the interesting thing about where the gland is, he may have two glands. Does he have one gland or two glands? Because we see that they get bilateral SVC, so we may be looking at two different chunks here. Frequently they get bidirectional glands, bidirectional double-sided glands. And what I'm looking at the left-sided gland here. For sure. There's the left-sided gland, and if I come on this side, I think I can see the origin of his right gland here. He's got another little gland here somewhere, there. So the big gland is on the one side, there it is, see? Okay, as he breathes in you can see it, and this gland has got different flow from the other one, eh?
Như vậy là mình thấy có hai gland sinh trái, sinh phải.
Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Okay, so he's got two glands, all right. So now, the only other thing that we need to do is see if we can see his pulmonary arteries. You take his head up nicely, we finished with that. You can sit nicely now, eh?
Có thể chị một số chị chưa biết là cái tim một thấp thì mình sẽ mổ theo hướng thứ nhất là mình cắt tĩnh mạch chủ đây mình nối vào động mạch phổi. Sau đó mình sẽ cắt cái động mạch chủ dưới, tĩnh mạch chủ dưới mình nối vào cái động mạch phổi luôn, thì lúc đó là toàn bộ tĩnh mạch hệ thống nó vào cái động mạch phổi, nó không có trộn máu nữa. Thì đây là cái bước đầu tiên, cây bước thứ nhất là cái bước mình nối cái tĩnh mạch chủ trên vào cái động mạch phổi, mình gọi là glantion.
And I think this is one of the problems with this lesion, is there's just so very little that you can see after surgical repair. I'm going to go back to the other big probe, thank you. Don't you have a 2¼ megahertz probe? But not here, in this hospital, right? Okay. Okay. So now you see the difference between the oomph. Okay, now we're going to up down first. Okay, and I'm going to try and look for the glands again here. The focal zone is still not back far enough. We want to get to the back. We want to decrease the size, thank you, the depth. Okay, because what we want to see is back there. And now we can fiddle around with that by taking, there's the gland, look. You see the two pulmonary arteries, not yet the gland, but I'm going to now put the colour on to help me again. Here's a gland. And I'm not interested in what's happening in the heart. I just want to put this back here. Okay, and I think what you're seeing here, and I'm going to take the colour, the gain, we're at 61, huh? Just to show you that you have to lower the scale even more, okay? Because this is very low velocity flow. And here's one glen on this side. Yeah.
Thấy một lên đây,
One glen there.
một lên đây.
These pulmonary arteries were continuous. Here's the main pulmonary artery, and the glen that you're seeing over here is on this side. Now, I'm coming down into his abdomen a bit more, and I'm going to change my hand position. And it's behind the aorta, isn't it? It's not in front of the aorta. There's the whole pulmonary artery. Okay. So I don't think I can do any better. It just gets harder and harder as the children get older. I'm going to take the scale down a bit more. Okay. And there's his central pulmonary arteries running like this. Eh?
Cái động mạch phổi.
There's one with a glen there. Here's the other one, and the glen on this side is not easy to see from below. Okay. The SVC, here's the capsule of the thymus, so the glen is running just outside the capsule of the thymus. Okay, here it goes on this side. Eh? I just can't do any better with what I've got at my disposal. I'm at 19, I can't go down any further. I'll start to see other stuff here. The best way to do it would be to take the lower frequency transducer, the 2 1/4, and look back there. I've got the focal zone just right. I've seen the central pulmonary arteries, and I've seen the glens from above, but I can't show you everything in one plane. And the real issue left for this young man, besides the fact that he's one day going to get a Fontaine, right, is this here. As always in a single ventricle. Now I'll take this is how to make, if your surgeon irritates you, you just dial down the scale, see? Because actually that's really the only amount of AV valve recurge he's got. But if you don't like the surgeon and he's irritated you, you make it look like this, you see? Oh, I just did the wrong thing there. I'm trying to get the scale down, which is there. Okay. So if you make it bigger like this, you can make it a lot more AV valve insufficiency. But he's really got very mild AV valve insufficiency. And there, as I'm looking at it, as I just sit here with this there, you can see beautifully this pulmonary artery with the glen coming down here and the glen on that side. I'm done. I think that's enough for one day. What?
Ngày mai chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu 8 giờ ở trường.
No, always as much as you can. Because you